3 minis, 3 separate painting styles. Let's see which one's best. Oh yeah, welcome back to the channel. My name's Paul, and we're still working our way through this Black Templar combat patrol. And today, we've got a bit of a big one. We're going to do 3 whole Marines in one video, which is triple the amount of work I normally do. I really want to try out some different painting techniques. So far, I've just done like putting on undercoat, putting on a base layer, and doing some highlights by hand. And I really enjoyed that, but I've seen some other sort of techniques and different ways to tackle highlights and just painting in general. So I wanted to try out all 3 of these to see if there's any better than the normal techniques. So what we've got today is we've got 2 fully built Primaris Crusaders, and we've got 1 built in a sub-assembly. So if we start with this dude. So one of the techniques we're going for today is sub-assembly. So I've built this, kind of half built this guy. I've got like his torso, I've got like his arm with his guns, I've got some other bits lying around. With that one, we're going to try doing undercoating each individual part and then highlighting each individual part by hand once they've been drilled into like some paper clips and some cork to like hold them onto. And then with this guy here, we're going to try some dry brushing. So I'm going to undercoat this guy in Chaos Black, just slap on a dry brush of rust grey and use that as our sort of highlighting method rather than doing it by hand with the paintbrush. And then finally with this guy, the one I'm most excited for, we're going to try Zenithal Highlighting. So we're going to put on a layer of Chaos Black, and then we're going to use rust grey here to kind of do some like shadow highlighting. So we're going to go from the front and around and the top. And then we're also going to finally, after that, undercoat him with a little touch of matte white, mostly from the top down, as if it's like the light coming down. So then hopefully, like the colours of these 3 undercoats and the directions we put them in should highlight the model in a way that's more reflective of natural light. Or so I've read online. We'll see how that goes in a minute. So without further ado, I'm thinking to start with the Zenithal Highlighting guy because I'm most excited to try this. Sweet, so our Chaos Black is all dried and looking quite good. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take a can of Ghoul Grey and we're going to try and do a Zenithal Zenithal undercoat. So we're going to apply it rather than all over the mini. We're just going to try and go like around it and the top down. So it's going to cast some shadows. So kind of the under areas, like under his arm and in between his legs, and kind of things that would have shadows on them naturally don't get any of this grey. They stay black, and then this grey is a little bit brighter on the areas where light would hit. Cool, so let's go back in and have a look at this, because it's freezing outside and I want to get back in. Cool, so this is our second layer of primer. This was the Ghoul Grey that's gone on. We have the Chaos Black and then the Ghoul Grey, and it's kind of looking okay. So just looking at him, I'm not sure if I've covered too much in grey, and also I don't know if I've put enough grey on, so it's a little bit spotty and a little bit patchy, and it's kind of everywhere, so I don't know if that goes against the whole point of Zenithal priming, but it's our first attempt. So it's just a bit of fun, isn't it? Trying to work out what it's like and how to do it. So yeah, we'll wait for this to dry. It should only take about 5 or 10 minutes because it's quite a thin layer. And then we're going to go back outside into the freezing cold. And then we're going to do one final coat of white. Cool. Last but not least, we've got the matte white spray. We're going to go top down. So just completely coming down as if the sun was shining on top of them. There we go. Just a light, sort of light dusting on top. And then let's go see what it looks like. First glance though, oh, that's looking nice. Look at that. It's looking really good. It's all coming together now. I can see the vision. I can see the Zenithal Prime strategy all coming together. So we've just done matte white, just from the top down, literally just pointing it up like this, down on the top, as if that's where the light source is coming from. Yeah, so you can kind of see on top, he's a lot brighter on the shoulders and the top, and then as it goes down to sort of the bottom of the mini, he's a little bit darker. The grey had me a little bit worried, the middle one we did, because I'm not sure I put too much on or spread it too much, but the white kind of brings it all together now. Like I can kind of see that the underside of his pauldrons here are all really dark because I didn't get any of the grey or the white. But the top of his head and the top of his pauldrons, where the sun would be coming down on him, are a lot brighter. Cool, so what we're going to do now is we're going to crack open this Black Templar contrast and drown this poor guy in it and see how that looks with the Zenithal Prime undercoat. Cool, so it goes nothing. What I will say is it's nice to have quite a light undercoat on it, because that way it's easy to see where you're applying the paint and where you've missed and stuff. So I think that's everything. I think that's everything. So it's only the first of the 3 we're doing, and I've only done 1 layer of Black Templar contrast, so I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I absolutely love this. Oh my god, this looks so cool. Feels like there's more depth to it, you know? I don't know if it's maybe because it's a contrast, so it's just like a thin layer on top of the model, whereas like the base layer is a bit thicker, so maybe, I don't know. I'm chatting out my arse. I just think he's so cool. I love him, he's incredible. So yeah, we've done the Zenithal Prime dude. Let's move on to the dry brush. Sweet, so it's time to try some dry brushing. I did actually try it on these garden slates because people online said it's a good way to practice, and if anything, it's made me feel worse because it came out awfully. So move those away and just, you know what, jump straight in. Oh, here goes nothing. I'm nervous. You know what? That's pretty cool actually. I like how it's come out. Like, I was really worried I was going to flood it with like the rust grey. Like, I thought the dry brushing was just going to make the whole thing grey, and it was really going to like overpower it and look a bit meh. And it's kind of hard because I've not done it before. It's kind of hard to, in my mind, see what the outcome will look like. It was kind of hard with some areas, like in these shoulder pads to get in and on this backpack. I think that's just down to the model itself. Maybe I should sub-assembly it next time or something. I can see in my mind how it's going to work, so I'm really excited now. I think the next step is, yeah, just to use some of the contrast paint to go over basically the panels and do almost like a base layer of contrast paint. And that should leave behind some of the highlighted areas. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure about this. I don't know how much it's going to come up on camera. To be fair, on camera it still looks quite blue. Yeah, at first glance, I'm not entirely sure. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if I watered down the contrast too much or not enough, or if I applied too much or too little. I'm not really sure, but I feel like a lot of those edges and that highlighting I did with the dry brushing, I'm kind of just faded away. They're not there anymore. Like, I don't know if I've covered them up. Like I mentioned, I don't know if I've put too much on or not enough, or maybe again with the dry brushing, I didn't put enough paint on the brush and like apply enough dry brushing. So I'm not really sure what I've done here. It's kind of, yeah, like at first glance, it looks like the contrast are just kind of like drowned out and covered up all of the edge highlights. Sweet. So next up, we've got our third and final method, which is going to be the more traditional applying edge highlights with like a fine brush using the side of it. This time we've just tried some sub-assembly as well. So we've got the torso and the legs here, and then just to the side we've got like the arms and the weapon, the backpack, and we've got like the shoulder pads and all the other bits off to do individually. So yeah, I'm going to go for the same as last time, the rust grey. So yeah, I've got some on the palette here, so let's just crack on. Look at this, I feel like a proper expert now. Like when I first started, everyone I watched would do this essentially and always say, oh yeah, get your core, and get your pin and your drill and like sub-assembly. And now that we're here and we're doing it, it feels cool, I like it. So I think that's everything for all the edge highlights by brush. So maybe we can do some reviewing of all three now. Cool, so let's take stock of where we're at. So we'll start with the first one, the Zenithal Highlight dude. So this guy, we've done the Zenithal priming with the Chaos Black undercoat, the grey kind of mid coat and the white from the top down, and then applied some Black Templar contrast. And honestly, this is incredible. I love the look of this so much. I don't know if it's the Zenithal highlighting or applying the contrast on the top of a white and grey undercoat. I don't know which one it is, but I absolutely love it. It's so cool. I love the colours of it, the shading. So far, this is the front runner by a country mile in terms of the 3 that we've done. But yeah, so that's what we've done with this one so far. Yeah, so the second one we did was the dry brush. And I wasn't a massive fan of this, you know, like it wasn't that great. I don't know if it's because of my skill level, like I didn't dry brush or contrast correctly, but what looks like has happened, what I feel like has happened is I've dry brushed it on, the edges were highlighted, it looked really good, and then the contrast paints kind of like flooded it or covered it all up, and it doesn't even look like it was dry brushed. Like, it doesn't really look that great. Like I mentioned, I don't know if it's because of I don't understand dry brushing enough or something I've done wrong. There's something we can work on, but not too keen on that one. The third and final one though, the sub-assembly. So this one we sub-assembled, so like you can see we built like the arm and the guns, the torso on its own. Then I've got like little bits like the shoulder pauldrons and whatnot, all individually. And compared to how I normally do models, which is build the whole model, paint the whole model, and do edge highlighting last, this was incredible, like night and day. It was so much easier with the sub-assembly to like twist and turn all the pieces how I want them to like get into the angles. When there's not as much in the way, it's easier to get to some of those like cool little edges. So this is a very close second in like approaches, techniques. I don't know what the word is. But yeah, big fan of this. Yeah, so next up, some batch painting for the first time. Well, we've done all the basing for all of the models in the different techniques, like the Zenithal, the dry brush, the sub-assembly. Now we need to slap on the details. Yeah, so I found a Duncan Rose video that just covers all of the base colours, because the focus of this video wasn't necessarily to improve on the base colours or that technique, it was just to focus on the basing, like the Zenithal priming or the dry brushing, to see which one is the best. Of course, we're just checking out the tutorial. The first thing up is the shoulder pauldrons, and they're going to be Corax White. Everyone said that the Black Templar shoulders are like infamously hard, and I was like, it can't be that hard. It's just a little insignia and some white, but no, I get it now. It's not even just like getting the right colour, just to get in that little insignia and going around the little gaps. It's some of them are a proper state. Yeah, that focus is the absolute state on that shoulder pattern. To be fair, actually, this other one pretty clean. On the Zenithal dude, I will say, yeah, the sub-assembly one clean as a whistle, just because you can just rotate it and it's really easy to get into. So yeah, there's the shoulders done for now, until I come back to the tidying up process later. But speaking of late, it's 9:30 and I want to go to bed. So I'm going to wrap all this up for tonight, clean the one brushes off, put the wet palette in the fridge, and then tomorrow we'll start bright and early on the tabard. Oh, I like that. The tabard has been my favourite part so far of the Black Templar. So yeah, going to head on to bed, and then first thing tomorrow morning, crack on with the tabard. So yeah, it's morning. It's 7:30 to be precise. And what better way to start the day than with some little plastic men? Yeah, I'm just keen to get stuck back into our little production line here. So yeah, let's just jump straight back into the tabards. Yeah, of course, we've got Xandru Dust, a new paint pot. So crack this one open and do the tabards. And I know what you might be thinking, Paul, did you seriously wake up at 7:30 just to do some painting? Are you that addicted? Partly, yes. I mean, my girlfriend does shift work, so sometimes she starts early, and this morning she started at 7, which means I was up early. But when I did wake up, I thought, oh, this gives me a chance to do 2 hours of painting before work. So a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. Unreal, look at that. Yeah, I absolutely love the tabard. It was the same with this guy. Yeah, the first Black Templar I did. Like, the tabard really adds so much to the model. And I believe next up is the weapon casings, so making them all corn red. Oh, they're proper coming along nicely now. I absolutely love them. They're so good. Let's just grab just down here. Look at these. They're so cool. Look, I love the reds and the whites and the blacks all on like the armor, and then with like the big tabard down the middle. Oh, it looks incredible. Like especially this guy on the end with like his gun in the air and his sword out. Like, oh, yeah, these are like I loved all the other stuff I've done, like the Terminators, Infernus Marines, but these they're hitting different. Oh, they're incredible. Absolutely love them. So yeah, next up we'll do all the belts and the leathers in Mornfang Brown, and then all the chest insignias. Oh, the skulls on there. The shoulder pads need to be buffed as well. Cool, so let's crack on with these two. Sort of the brown and the gold, it's really coming together. Like you can see, like there's all the details pretty much there and in. I mean, I still need to do some of the silver stuff. Why does Duncan do that? Right, does it closer to the end? Yeah, so I normally do all of the base colours, then all the washes, but looking at Duncan's tutorial, Duncan's saying to put the washes on now. I guess it makes sense, because I think we're going to use Agrax Earthshade to wash the chest insignia and the tabard and some of the brown details. Like the lead belcher is going to be done with Nuln oil. So I guess it makes sense to do the colours, then their shade, and the other colours in a different shade. So I guess it makes sense in that way, so we'll do that. But yeah, it's kind of really coming together. I love the look of them, it's so cool. They just look so regal. I think it's the tabard. Someone mentioned in my comments of my last video, I think the Dark Angels also have tabards, so I might look into them, because yeah, I love this like, big extra piece of detail they've got. It's incredible. But we're going to have to call it there just for now, because it's 9:10. I was meant to start work, and I was meant to start work 10 minutes ago. Yeah, so we'll just leave this there for now, and then later on this evening we'll come back and do some of the Agrax Earthshade, some of the lead belcher, and all the final little details. Whoa, cool, so work is done. We're back, and next up we've got Agrax Earthshade to go over the tabard of all these guys, and also apparently some according to this tutorial, the corners of the shoulder and the recesses to try and dirty them up a little bit, so keen to give that a try. Yeah, I'm not a massive fan of this recess shading on the pauldrons, mostly because I can't get like straight fine lines and I'm really messy with it, so we'll just leave it on this guy, and the rest of the squad, the other two we're doing, will have nice clean shoulders without any of this messy shading. I might even like tidy it up with the white later, but yeah, just put that to one side. Cool, next up just a little one, we're going to use this Eshin Grey for the ribbons of the armour. So yeah, just you see on the back here, it's all the ribbons of his armour. We're just going to fill them in with Eshin Grey just to bring it together a little bit. But we did put a nice wash on the tabards. I like how they look, to be fair. Like, they all look real good. I definitely prefer this Zandri dust with Agrax Earthshade over the top of it compared to what we did last time, which was White Scar with Skeleton Horde over the top. But this looks kind of okay, but I definitely prefer this nice, like, smooth kind of look here. Like, I feel like it fits the model more than... Maybe even in the future I'll go over this with some Zandri dust and redo it. Cool, so next up we've got Lead Belcher, and I'm not going to be fooled this time. I know it's going to take ages. Like, I always forget. For some reason I always think, oh, Lead Belcher, just a little bit here and there, but no, on these guys there's a lot. But yeah, going to crack up in the Lead Belcher and make them more shiny. Oh my lord. I tried to prepare myself. I said, silver always takes longer than you think, so be prepared. And like an hour later, I was still doing the silver. Oh my god, but I think it's done now. Yeah, it's looking good. But I always get taken aback by how much silver there is. I feel like I do it and then I always forget this little bit here, this little bit there. But yeah, they're coming along now. It's the little bits like the, oh, see, again, I even just realised I'm looking at it and I've forgotten a piece. I was saying it's like this chunk on the sword, I like things like that I forget about. But then looking at the sword, I've not done the blades. But there you go. I still forget. I think that's like almost everything in terms of the base colours. I don't know what else is left. There's a lot of tidying up that he's doing. Like looking at them, they're so messy on little places. So what I might do next then is I might just do a big round of tidying up and then apply some of the Nuln oil and then have a look at where we're at. Cool, so when I said I thought I was done, I could not have been more wrong. So on the dry brushing dude, he's got some candles on the back of his jetpack just at the top. On the Zenithal Highlight dude, this guy's the worst. Half his sword isn't even finished. I completely forgot. It's got the gold, whatever colour I want the skull to be, and then this is going to be gold. I think that's that for this dude. And then I think the sub-assembly man is fine, to be fair. Oh no, sorry, I'm lying to you. They got wax seals. That was it. Both of these dudes on their legs have got wax seals. I'm not sure what colour it's meant to be, because Duncan said to put the parchment as red. So, and he's got a little badge, which is bronze, but that looks more like a wax seal rather than a badge. So let's refer to the trusty box art. Yeah, it's like a Wraithbone parchment here, whereas on Duncan's video, parchment is like red with like the little gold, like a metallic button, whereas mine's more like a wax seal. So we'll see if we can tidy them up somehow. So yeah, we've got candles, the hilt of a sword, and some wax seals. So let's try and work through those quickly. So first up, we'll just slap some Wraithbone on the candles, and then we're going to go over them with some red. I'm not sure which red, whether it be Mephiston or Evil Suns. Oh, that's quite cool. I really like the little bits that go down the backpack. So rather than just like a candle just like stuck on top and that's it, like I like these little wax kind of like drippings coming down the back. Ah, sick. That's really cool. I love all the, that's my favorite. I think that's my favorite thing about like the models of Warhammer in general. It's really tiny little minor details like that you wouldn't even think about. We'll let that dry and then we'll try, like I said, we'll water down. Not sure which one. Evil Sun or Mephiston. Yeah, what I'll do actually, I'll put Evil Suns on. Because that'll be the lighter colour, and then if it's too light, we don't like it, we can just darken it down with Mephiston. Oh well, actually that might be a little bit too thin, you know? Maybe we'll just like take some from the top and thicken it up a little bit. So we'll leave that to dry. I might chuck some like orange or something on the flames, or the yellow on the flames, just to make them stand out a little bit more. But we can put this to one side and move on to the other bit we had to tidy up, which was the wax seals. So these things on the bottom, they should have been like a parchment colour, so we're going to chuck some Rakar flesh on them. Yeah, that's not too bad actually. The Rakar flesh kind of has gone over the red, it's not too bad. So I guess next up we'll just chuck some Mephiston red on that wax seal as well. Yeah, it's looking okay. Could have been better if we did it right from the start, but the wax seals are wax seals, it's whatever. Right, I do think we are actually ready to move on to the tidying up now. I can't believe how many little details I forgot about. Well, actually I can believe how much I forgot, because there's so much on these models, but that's what makes them good. That's what I like about them. I mean, just to go over what I do for the tidying up, because I never really mention it. I normally just put like the camera up there and do it from afar. It's stuff like, the shoulders are probably a good example. Let me move the light. Yeah, I don't know if you can make out on the camera on the shoulders, but like the way the white seeps into all of the insignia, because I've just been a bit messy. There's stuff like that all over the Mini. Like I can see a section on the tabard where I haven't properly painted up to his chest. Yeah, so when I say I'm doing like the tidying up and when I like do all the camera shots from afar, it's because there's nothing really to see other than me just like patching up tiny little things I've missed. So I've got a lot of that across all three of the models. I'm interested actually as well to do the tidying up on this and this guy, because I used contrast paint to do the base layer, not Abaddon Black. So I'm keen to see how that looks tidying up. So yeah, we're going to do the tidying up and then we'll do Nuln oil over all of it, every square inch. Save me, please. I'd be keen to know in the comments below what people think of the editing of the videos as well, because I'm not only like learning how to paint, but I'm learning how to edit videos. It's all a learning journey for me, every aspect of this. So yeah, I'd be keen to know if people like enjoy certain camera angles. There's too much commentary, too many cuts, you know, is it too boring sometimes, or is it sometimes too fast? You want me to slow down? So yeah, I'd be keen to know in the comments below what people think of the editing, because I'm always keen to learn and get better, so the videos are better for me and for you. Time for the eyes. I've got the Kolinsky Sable size 00 for this. See if that can do wonders. Oh, that's better. That's a lot better than normal. Oh, I like that. Oh, that's really good. Oh, look how good his eye looks. A little bit of spillage there, but do you know what? That might be one of my best ones yet. Oh, he looks mean. Yeah, chuffed with that. Oh, you know what? I think that's enough tidying. I spent a while on it. So next up, everybody's favourite, Nuln oil. We're going to cover all of the metallic parts and maybe some of the weapon casing in Nuln oil. And then that might be it, you know. Is that everything? I think it might be, you know, they've all been Nuln oiled up, all the base colours, whatnot. Yeah, I think that might be everything. I always feel like there's more to do. And even though I'm like, I know I've done everything. I've ticked off all the boxes, I followed the whole tutorial, but like, I'm always anxious to stop and like, I think I get a bit nervous putting him in front of the camera and being like, here is my thing. And I'm always like, I need to do more to make him look better because he looks a bit shit and people might like judge him. But like, I know everyone's been super nice and friendly and like, no one's ever been horrible, been like that, shit, give up. Like, I think learning when to put the brush down and like, we're done is definitely something, a skill, almost a skill that needs to be learned in its own right. But yeah, what I'm going to do now, quickly build this sub-assembly guy because he's still in parts, set up the photography lighting review station and review him. The sub-assembly has been built, the basing has been done. Underneath this very mug, there is actually 3 whole minis, believe it or not. I think 3 is the most I can ever paint in a video because I can't fit any more under the mugs, but oh, hey, look at them. Oh, they're unreal. These are definitely my favourite I've ever done. There's a lot to digest. Let's move them all side by side. Cool, we get a good look. And yeah, I'm just looking at the camera screen. You can tell like a big difference in the colour between all 3 of them. That's exactly what we wanted. The whole point of this video was to see how 3 different painting techniques affects just the overall look of the mini, not necessarily the fine detail. So over here on the far left, we've got the Zenithal highlighting. So we did a layer of Chaos Black, then some grey highlights around like the mid-sections and the top, and then white directly down. Oh, so this guy in the middle was dry brushing. So we did a layer of Chaos Black undercoat. We dry brushed some rust grey all over with this big dry brush, and then we did a coat of contrast Black Templar. And then this guy on the far right was the more traditional sense. We did just an undercoat of Chaos Black, and then we used rust grey to edge highlights with a brush. So here they are. And yeah, like, I can't get over how different they all look. There's a lot to go over. I don't even know where to start. I absolutely love this guy on the far left. He's my favourite by far. The head is a little bit too bright, so maybe I could use a little bit more contrast paint, but that was the whole point of the Zenithal highlighting, right? This is going over some white, so the top will be the lightest and the bottom will be the darkest. And I do feel like it's kind of works that way. Like, can we look at the underside? Yeah, so like you can see under him is real dark, but then as you get to the top where the light would be, it gets a bit lighter. So yeah, before we dive into each one individually, I will say overall, this guy on the far left is my favourite. I absolutely love him. I love putting the contrast paint on the sort of like grey and white undercoats. Looking at these two, the Black Templar contrast paint is definitely what I prefer over like Chaos Black, because this just seems a bit, I say Chaos Black, we do Chaos Black with some Abandoned Black, but something about this just seems quite flat, quite unfinished. It's like, yeah, just plain black, whereas I feel like the contrast has added some kind of smoothness and depth to it that looks really nice. Looking at them, even especially on camera, I think actually it turns up more on camera than it does in person. I can't get over the difference in the shades. I'm not sure what I'm going to carry on using going forward for the rest of them. I'll come back to that. Okay, that's the thing. That's a question for later. What we'll do now, I guess, is just chuck each one on the podium and just have a little quick once over on how they look and how I found the technique. Yeah, so we start with the Zenithal Prime guy. Like, the model as well is just incredible. Oh my god, I love this huge sword and like him pulling it out. Again, yeah, I love the Zenithal highlighting. Like, it's a little bit bright on his head, like almost translucent grey rather than like a Black Templar. So maybe we could do something different next time. But yeah, it's got a bit of a chalky kind of like look to him. I kind of like that. It's quite cool. I think it's a little bit too far in the light side, but I do really like, you can sort of tell from the top downs are quite light and the bottom's a bit dark. But overall, I really enjoyed the Zenithal highlighting. I love the look of it with the different layers of the undercoat, and I really liked applying the contrast paint to it. My only issue with the contrast paint, actually, is tidying up was a little bit awkward. So, like, you might be able to see on his knee, I got some gold on it just here, and it was hard to tidy up because the contrast paint isn't that thick, so it doesn't really cover up other paint too well. So it's hard to tidy up the messes I make. So maybe that's just a good indication that I need to be tidier in the future. But in terms of the highlights, yeah, it definitely accentuates like a lot of the, see in his knee here, there's like all the detail. It definitely accentuates that and like sits in it. And there's some highlights on his foot just naturally from the undercoat and the contrast. Like, it kind of eases off some of the need for edge highlighting. I feel like it looks good without having to spend hours edge highlighting. So I think it's a nice middle ground between the two. I don't know if I'd use this 100% going forward. I'd have to think about it because I absolutely loved sub-assembling. Yeah, like the sub-assembly was so good. I can't get over how much better the building and the painting was for this. It was so much easier. I think the sub-assembly just was night and day. I can't believe it's taken me 9 minis before I realised, okay, no, the way that everyone does it online with the cork and the wire, yeah, they were right. Everyone's right. It's just the superior way. Like, it's so much easier. Like, yes, it takes a bit more time, but like I feel like I got better results. Like, it's still pretty shifty in some places. Like, this shoulder was a bit of a mess, but like the backpack looks good. Like, the back of the legs are all right. Like, obviously there's still work and improvements to be had in general because I'm not like the best edge highlighter, but like, I just can't go over how much of a better experience the painting was when it was sub-assembled. And then building it again at the end, like assembling it, was fine. It was easy. It was whatever. Nothing like super special about the model, just a big dude with a gun, which I quite like. It's quite nice to do that because I've done so many melee weapons. I do like the axes and the swords. So many of these types is, oh my god, I just noticed actually comparing these two next to each other, the Zenithal Prime and the Black Templar, like normal. Like, man, that is night and day. They're like two different models. I definitely need to spend some time like reviewing all of them to see which one I prefer and which one I like. But that's a problem for future Paul. Sub-assembly, incredible, 10 out of 10. If I could combine the two, do some Zenithal highlighting and sub-assembly, that might be what I do going forward. I'm just not sure how. I mean, if everyone knows a good way of doing it, let me know in the comments below. A good way of combining Zenithal highlighting and sub-assembly. Because I feel like you have to build the whole mini right to get like all the shadow undercoats. But maybe there is a way that I'm not really thinking about. And then the dry brushing dude, I mean, we'll start with the positives. I love the model. Like, the candles on the back, I don't know, there's the gun pointed in the air, the candle on the back and the sword. Oh, it's so good, it's so clean. But yeah, I wasn't a massive fan of the dry brushing. I thought it would accentuate the edge highlights more. Like, I thought the dry brushing would handle all of the edge highlights and I wouldn't have to really do it. But it hasn't really shown up. Like, in some places it's kind of still there, but it's kind of hard to see. Like, on his knee there's a little bit. But I think that might have just been a case of me not putting enough on the dry brush. I'm not dry brushing enough onto it, you know? Like, maybe I was being a bit too scared to not apply loads. But I feel like I dry brushed it, there was a bit on there, and then the contrast paint kind of just like covered it all up. Yeah, I'm not sure if it was an issue with dry brushing or something I've done. So in the future, if I was to try it again, yeah, I'd maybe just go a bit harder on the dry brushing itself, just cover and cape the model with it. So I think one thing I have learned in this video is I'm a big fan of the Black Templar contrast over this Akabadan Black. I'm a big fan of Zenithal highlighting, and I really like sub-assemblies. Yeah, overall, I love all three models. They're absolutely great, and I think I learned a lot from all of them. Oh, just quickly as well, before we move on to the outro, just the base was just some Armageddon dust and some Agrax Earthshade over the top. Just standard. I do want to do some interesting, cool, like quirky stuff with bases in the future, but just for these models, I just wanted to like do the painting techniques. There we go, 3 whole Marines in one video. That was a lot. I knew tripling my workload would be a handful, and would be a lot more, but I didn't expect it to be that much. But to be fair, the batch painting process of just taking one colour, like the white on the shoulders, and just going 1, 2, 3, then the red, 1, 2, 3, and going through like that was a blast. That was really good. And it was proper efficient. It was fun to do. So I definitely think that was a good learning process. But overall, yeah, this was a resounding success. So our goal coming into this video and these 3 models was to find out how different painting techniques look on the Black Templar. So like the Zenithal highlighting, the dry brushing, and the sub-assembly. And yeah, this could not have been more of a success if I tried. All 3 of them look different. They have a different shade to them, a different texture, a different look. And that's exactly what we wanted. We wanted to see how different can these things be. Like, how different can these different techniques be? But yeah, I really like different aspects of each of them. I'm really keen to try the dry brushing again because it wasn't so successful this time. I definitely want to do Zenithal highlighting in the future. I absolutely love the look of it. I love doing all the different sprays and then putting the contrast on and the way it sits in it and the colour it makes it in the shade. I absolutely love it. It's so good. When I did the original Black Templar, this dude, like we just even compare them like side by side. It's like night and day. I think because the armour was fully black, I wanted to try and make all the other aspects of him quite bold, so it wasn't just like a big blob of dark paint. Whereas with this guy, because it's still black, but it's kind of like also like a dark grey, kind of light grey in some sections because of like obviously the Zenithal. I didn't feel the need to make everything else on him dark. I didn't feel the need to make everything else on him light in order to kind of bring something to the model. I thought like, okay, well I can put like a bit of a darker wash on his tabard, and I can put like the Balthazar gold rather than Liberator gold, so it's not, you know, so it kind of levels it out. So I really like that, and I really want to do Zenithal highlight in the future. But saying that, after doing the sub-assembly, I can't imagine doing it any other way. Like, it was a nightmare, like, coming back from doing each individual pieces and then having to, like, get in little nooks and crannies and underarms on the fully built ones. Like, I don't think I can ever go back to non-sub-assembly. So I need to find a way to Zenithal highlight and sub-assembly. And if there is a way to do that, please let me know in the comments because I have no idea. But yeah, I am absolutely loving the Black Templar so much. I didn't think I'd love them this much. Like, I bought the kit, like I mentioned, just so I'd have lots of different models to play around with. And the Black Templar were like, oh, it's a little bit something extra to make them a bit spicier, but I love them. I absolutely love all of the, like, I love the tabards. Like, I love them so much. It adds something extra to the Space Marines. I love all the big, like, Crusader seals. And, like, even the little things, like this dude's got candles on the back of his, like, thing. On the back of his backpack. I love it. It's incredible. I love all these little extra details. Yeah, I'm super keen going forward to try more of these. Like, I absolutely love them. They're their favourite. Like, I know I say it every time. Like, every new model is my favourite, but they're just the best. I love them. They're so cool. They're absolutely incredible. Seeing them in a little unit, in a little squad. Like, I've just got them on my desk here. Like, almost like they're guarding this, like, Blight Hauler. Like, they've captured it. I love it. I love organising the minis in, like, ways. Not like dioramas, because it's just on my desk, but, like, just kind of organise them in a way so it looks like it's telling a little story. Kind of similar to these Terminators here. Even to the little things, like having 3 in the front and I put 2 on the back on a little riser, so they're like a squad. Like, I love, yeah. Even like the little things about this aspect of the hobby I love, like just putting them on the desk and making them look like something. Where I'm going to go from here, I don't know. I'm not sure. What have we got left? I'm trying to look at the box. We've got, oh, there's a Primaris Impulsor. I do really want to do this car. I'm trying to build myself up to it though, because it's just massive and it looks like such a daunting task. It looks like there's so many edge highlights on it. And that looks like most of the work, to be honest. Maybe we'll do that in the future soon. But yeah, like I mentioned, I only bought this box because there's like such a variety of like, there's just so many models to paint, so it just gave me lots of models to try things on. I'm kind of falling in love with the Black Templar, man. They're so good. Like I mentioned, I love like the white on the shoulders that contrasts like the black armor, and then the red weapons all standing out. I feel like I'm definitely like making big strides in painting now. I feel like we're getting somewhere and really learning a lot. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you like this video, drop us a like and subscribe, and tune in next time when we do. I don't even know anymore. I'm absolutely fried from doing 3 models in one video, which seems like nothing. I bet there's people out there painting like whole armies in one go. But I've only ever done like 1 at a time. So doing 3 in one go was a journey, but it was really enjoyable. I really liked like having all 3 on like a little conveyor belt run. It was fun. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.